All right, welcome back to the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Scrambled Jake's Breakfast Company. If you are tired of working from home, take a day and work from Scrambled Jake's. Monday through Friday, they are a great place to start your day. And on the weekends, if you're wanting to avoid the lines, and boy, they have some lines because that place is just fantastic food, call ahead for a to-go order. Just drive in, pick it up, head out. Nothing beats their hot cinnamon rolls on a winter morning, I can tell you that. Scrambled Jake's Breakfast Company right out in Rocky Hill. ScrambleJakes.com to learn more. All right, let's take a look at Tennessee's schedule coming up. I'm going to make this a quick segment. We need to. You tell me, you look at this schedule, and I ask you, if Tennessee doesn't take their penalty this first year, I think they will. I don't think they'll be bowl eligible. I think they'll sacrifice themselves. But let's say they are bowl eligible. Looking at that schedule, would you consider a bowl to be expected, a dice roll, or a long shot?
Dice roll for me. To me, there's several key games on there, John. Pittsburgh's one of them. Pittsburgh's a pretty good football team. They got a really good quarterback, real good receiver, a couple of good running backs. That's a pretty good team. And Ryan and I were talking earlier. I think Pittsburgh and then Vanderbilt, South Carolina are games that you need to win if you want to get bowl eligible. But I think it's a little bit of a dice roll because the Pittsburgh game to me is a toss-up.
Yeah. I'd say it's about a 60-40 chance of making a bowl, whatever you consider
dice
that.
Roll.
Dice roll. So
Yeah.
It's closest to a dice roll. But I think there's a good chance you make it. That schedule to me, 7 teams with a 500 or below record this past year. Fans, fair or not, are going to look at that and say, you need to win 6 games. And ideally, you would.
Problem is Tennessee was 3-7, was a 30% winner last year.
Yeah.
But you're right. That's what I'm saying is
and only 3 games that you look at it and say they're not winning these.
There are only 3. Well, okay. Bowling Green. Chuck, your thoughts. Let's get that.
I think it's definitely a roll of the dice because I have 5 toss-up games, that I wouldn't consider Tennessee to be definite, favorite in them.
Let's take the definite wins. All right. We think Bowling Green.
Correct.
You think Tennessee Tech? It's a level FCS. South Carolina, probably because they're going through a really bad offseason too. Even though that was a very close game last year, but South Carolina, you should beat them. South Alabama,
Should win.
coaching change, and then Vanderbilt.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's 5 wins. That's in my book. That's 5 that you should win, and South Carolina's kind of iffy for me there.
Right.
So that's 4 or 5 shoulds. Now Ryan, you say 7?
I said 7 teams that had a 500 record or below last year. But to that point, I mean, if
3
you got
definite losses is all you say.
Yeah.
Alabama, Florida, Georgia.
those are the same 3 as usual.
Yeah.
To me, Missouri, Kentucky, you don't know. If you got a good offense, you can outscore almost anybody.
Yep.
So I wouldn't rule out any of those games. And even Ole Miss, they didn't have a great defense this year. So if your offense is good, maybe that ends up being a shootout and you can hang in it. So I wouldn't say those are impossible, but I wouldn't count on them either.
Okay. All right. Very good. We've saved time because I want to talk about Josh Heupel, hired here, replaced by Gus Malzahn at UCF. What's the better hire? Come on back on the Sports Court.